Okay. All right. Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, we would like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem Kakadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who do well, teach well, being great examples towards younger brothers. And peace and blessing salutation to the hopeful elect out there pushing this word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the believers, the listeners who may have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashim Al Shai. All right. And in GMS Mississippi camp, and what we want to get into today, all right, is a lesson dealing with forever captives. All right. And this lesson was inspired, by the brother Prisham Yah from down here in the Mississippi camp. And I listened to one of his videos this morning, and he made a heavy statement. And he said a lot of our people, are going to die, okay, in the same mindset that led us to captivity. Okay, a lot of our people are going to die with the same mindset that led us all to captivity, man. All right, they're rebellious, do as thou wilt, can't be told anything, heavy into idolatry. Okay, and that was the mindset that put us in captivity. Okay, so as we go through the scriptures let us know that there's a portion of our people. All right, the majority of our people will die, okay, in unbelief. They're going to die in the mindset of do as thou wilt, okay, which their mindset is heavily cultivated and catered to in America and glorified, man, okay. But that's the same mindset that got us in captivity. It's the same mindset that's going to get Jake judged, all right, in this great judgment, this wrath, all right, that the Lord is going to bring to the earth, man. You got it, bro.
Get that captain or
No, you get that
second Ezra.
yeah, second edge.
Okay. It's second Ezra chapter 15, starting at verse 1.
Yep.
Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy,
Yep.
which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai.
So we're speaking in prophecy, and prophecy, first off, prophecy tells us who we are, because we know who we are based off prophecy, man. All right, Deuteronomy 28, those was prophecy, man. You go to verse 68, there was a prophecy, and we identify with who we are based off prophecy, man. Okay, and also within prophecy, you have warnings of future judgment. Okay, so we're speaking these things to our people, letting them know who they are according to prophecy, Hosea 1 and 10. Okay, in the land where it said, "You are not my people, there shall you be called." All right, Israel, the sons of God. Okay, so here it is. We go into prophecy to identify who we are, and then also to warn our people of the wrath of the Lord. Okay, so we're speaking to our people in prophecy, man. Go ahead.
If we get that too well.
No, you got it.
Verse 2. It says, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true.
It calls them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true, which is the Bible. These things will come to pass. Okay, but remember, our people, the Lord, always rebuked our people for being faithless, man. So they don't believe in the prophecy, man. That's why they don't see no urgency to change their behavior, their conduct, because they don't believe in the prophecy. They don't have faith. So they hear these things, but it's not mixed with faith, as the scriptures say. So they don't see any urgency to change how they move. Okay, they keep the same mindset. After hearing prophecy, our people go back to the same mindset. They keep them, all right, destroyed as a people, man. Go ahead.
Verse 3. Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee.
Yep.
That speak against thee.
The incredulity means the unbelief. So let not the unbelief of those that speak against us trouble us, man. We not moved by nigga unbelief We're not moved by niggas that mock and stop. Because we know it's part of the scripture. We know the Lord told us that give no warning from me, but they're not going to listen. The Lord told us to hell. They won't even listen to him. So it's not a thing that we lose sleep about our people not getting it. Okay? We just explain how people not getting it in the scriptures. The scriptures give us the reason why Jake not gonna get it because they will have this incredulity, which is unbelief, man. Go ahead.
Good. It says, "For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness."
All the unfaithful that they're gonna die in their unfaithfulness, man. So Jake is going to die in the mindset of unbelief, all right, which caused them to live a lifestyle that's in complete rebellion to Yahweh Shem Shai. Okay, the same things that got us in captivity is the same mindset that our people are going to die in, man. You know, because there's no repentance for them in this time for the 2/3, man. Okay, you can say something. Okay, yeah, you get that scripture.
So Isaiah chapter 42, verse 22.
Yep.
But this is a people robbed and spoiled.
This is a people robbed and spoiled. And what are we robbed and spoiled from, man? Okay, who we are. We've been robbed from who we are. We've been robbed from who our powers are. Okay, we've been robbed from the legacy of righteousness. You know, the sons of God being detached from their legacy. We've been, robbed of even knowing how to function as a family, function as a unit. Like it's a people that don't even know how to function as a unit. You see, the enchantments of Esau Edom has robbed and spoiled the minds of our people so much to where they glorify their own self-destruction. They glorify in the lifestyle, the culture that got us in captivity. They're just like them. Niggas boast about going to prison. What nation of people do that? That's a strike. That's a badge of honor to go to prison. That's someone's mind that's robbed and spoiled. You know? You finish that day, you got your brother. Yeah.
They are all of them snared and hold.
Yep.
They are hid in prison house.
They are snared and hold. Okay? Feminism is a snare. Christianity is a snare. Okay? Being a street nigga, a real nigga, that's a snare. You see, all these things are snares into our people, man. Okay? And our people are snared into their way of thinking, and it works against them in every way. Okay? In prison houses, which Jake is in, literal prison house, but the main prison house is the mind. Because how does Jake end up in a physical prison? It's because of their mind is captive. Okay? To a culture, a doctrine that leads them to prison. Okay? Go ahead.
They are for a prey and none delivered.
They are for a prey. Esau prey off these niggas, man. Okay? Esau build prisons. You know? This nigga just build prisons because he know niggas gonna fill him up. You know? That's just like if you are if you hunt, okay? If you fish, well, you're gonna go looking for worms all the time because you know the fish gonna bite. You see? If you hunt, you're gonna go buy bullets all the time because you know that hey, it's gonna catch some game slipping. So Esau build prison because he already know that he got a system to ensnare Jake into these prisons, man. Okay? Go ahead.
For a spoil and none said restored.
None said restored. But the prophets are coming with the doctrine of restoration. The doctrine, this is what has restored us to who we are. Now we're able to function as brothers again. We're able to function as a family unit again. Okay? Because we're being restored. So we're seeing the benefits of righteousness and the restoration of being righteous, man. You know? But our people, they refuse the prophets. So there's nothing outside of the ministry of the prophets through Yahweh Shem Shai that's restoring our people, man. Islam isn't restoring our people. Christianity isn't restoring our people. Politics, the Republicans, Democrats are not restoring our people, man. Okay? You got it, bro. You can say something. You can say, wake up.
I say, he lets you come That's one thing everybody raps about. You know, Miss Independent, don't save her. She don't want to be saved. You know why? Because she loves his lifestyle. His lifestyle without bounds. You can do whatever the hell you want. You know, and that's why they are going to die with that mindset because they are free. In their mind, they are free. Free to be evil, free to do just to be following after the flesh. Even then, even after Yahweh returns, there's still going to be people with that mindset.
And they gotta be put to death.
Okay.
Luke 19:27. You know? Now you
God, that's well. This is Isaiah chapter 1, verse 4,
started 3.
verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master crib,
Yep.
but Israel does not know. My people does not consider.
Okay, so I think our people don't even consider, because even if you own cattle, or people that own cattle, all right, and you go out into that pasture, all right, well, you're not the owner, so those cattle are not even going to respond to you being out there. But if the owner goes out there, they're all going to reverence him. They're going to circle around him. If you ever seen, people with ranches, and they go out there with those cows, where those cattle stop what they're doing and they reverence that their owner is in there. So that's even reverence who the owner is. Matter of fact, these niggas don't even consider. Okay? So that way of thinking keeps our people in this lower state and constantly getting worse. Got it, bro.
Because I can say, like, if I can add to that point, you just said, you did a video last week, if I'm not mistaken, when you said that about later, you was like, sometimes you just gotta go into nature and
Yeah.
just see the natural order of things.
Yep.
Because even in these times, animals still reverence Yahweh Shah through the spirit that they were given.
Yep.
Because they don't deter for what they are designed to do.
Yep.
And while you can turn around, they can kidnap a lion or they can capture a lion and they can have him in their zoo. But at any moment, that nigga, he's still going, like, soon, like that lion, that animal is still inside of him. All you gotta do is give them. But the point is, to really back in, is that sometimes we go and see the natural order of things. Even animals in these times are still righteous. See how about Shema Shah? They're like even animals are more in order than these niggas nowadays.
Yeah, way more. Way more. The niggas are getting worse and worse. See, you got it, bro.
Oh, see, before,
You got it.
what happens when an animal don't consider its master? What sometimes bite, kick, thrust.
Yeah.
What happens when that animal finally does that?
Gotta get put down.
Gotta get put down.
Gotta go to free.
And that's what's different. People has done. They don't consider how about Shemi Al-Shad. So what? They mock him, they scoff, they openly rebel. So what? What's gonna happen? They gotta be put down. This is verse 4. It's Isaiah chapter 1, verse 4. A sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters. They have forsaken Yahweh Shem Yahshua. They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger. They are gone away back.
They are going away backwards. Okay? So our people have gone away backwards. They're getting worse and worse. So the Lord causing this horrific judgment, which is ultimately going to be Jacob's trouble, and then World War III to just top it off. Okay? This is the only solution, okay, for our people, man. Because our people will be, just like the title of the lesson, they will be forever captives because they have forever captives mindset. A nigga would try to vote, a nigga would switch back and forth between Democrat and Republican forever. A nigga would defend Jesus forever, defend the so-called white man forever. The nigga woman defend feminism and Miss Independent forever. They would do these things forever, Yeah, so these niggas have minds of forever captives. You know, that's why you keep reading down, keep reading Isaiah 1.
Verse 5, why should ye be stricken anymore?
Yep.
You revolt more and more.
Yep. So niggas don't care about that homicides go up in their neighborhood, drug infestation goes up in their neighborhood. No matter what type of condition the Lord put these niggas in, they just get worse. Niggas just adapt to the condition and become worse of a nigga. The conditions get worse, and so niggas adapt to the worse of conditions and just be worse niggas. You know? Go ahead.
The whole head is sick.
Yep.
The whole heart is faint.
Yeah, the whole head is sick, the whole heart is faint. Man. You know, from the top tribe down, okay, it's sick, man. Our people have a true mental illness, man, that will keep them slaves forever if the Lord didn't intervene. See, the Lord didn't extrapolate and elect, and He didn't set up a predestined elect to be extrapolated from this generation. Okay, which matter of fact, you can jump down to verse 9.
Okay. Verse 9.
Yep.
Except Yahweh Shemel Shai, our folks, and left unto us a very small remnant.
Yep.
We should have been as Sodom, and we should have been like unto the Lord.
Yeah, so the Lord didn't give a remnant, which is the elect. It said we would have been like Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay, we're just completely degenerate. And you can easily see that, like with this generation, because the morals are gone. Ain't no more morals anymore. That's something rare. A Jake with any type of morals, that's rare.
Integrity.
Yeah, that's rare. So if it wasn't a remnant that the Lord, separated unto himself in this time, our people would be way worse than what they are. And Esau would just have his way because there would be no resistance to these enchantments, man. See, the Lord raised up the prophets, set up a resistance to the enchantments of Esau Edom. Okay? But Jake, you can see it now. Jake is trending towards being alphabet. That's the end. Even with these gangster niggas, like, that's the end with these niggas. They into that. Okay? So it's like all I know studs, that's the norm. A stud is the norm. Okay? So if the Lord didn't intervene, all right, Israel would just be one big Sodom and Gomorrah, and he would just have to destroy all of Israel, man. Okay? But the Lord left a remnant. Okay? And the remnant, all right, are those that will come back in righteousness to their power, man. You know? You can say something.
Right there.
Jeremiah. Yeah, you get that, bro. You had something else, up?
Okay.
All right. You get that Jeremiah, then get yours.
17.
It should be 17 and 4.
14. Jeremiah 17 and 4.
Yeah.
It says, and thou, even thyself, shall discontinue thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thine enemies to like it, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land that thou knowest not, for ye have kindled a fire in my anger which shall burn forever.
Yeah, so we was punished, banished because we pushed the Lord, provoked the Lord to anger. Okay, and the scriptures tell us about the behavior, that provoked the Lord to anger. And the main behavior was idolatry, man. Serving other gods, man. Matter of fact, real quick, get that Baruch 4 and 6. Okay? This is what got our ass shipped off, man. Okay? And Jake still, glorifies, okay, in the behavior. They got us put in captivity, man. That's why we're not here to build with niggas, man. With them bend over backwards. Yeah, Baruch 4 and 6. About the shot, yeah.
I got you. Go ahead. I'll let you finish.
No, you go ahead.
This is Baruch chapter 4 and verse 6. You were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because ye moved the Most High to wrath, you were delivered unto thine enemies.
So we was given to the nations, not for our destruction, but the Lord was chastening us because we provoked him to anger. Now, how did we provoke him to anger?
For you provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils and not unto the Most High.
By sacrifice to devils, which are these idols, and not to Yahweh by Shema Shai. So what provoked him to anger, to ship our ass off, man, was idolatry, man. Keep reading.
Verse 8, it says, ye have forgotten the everlasting power that brought you up, and ye have grieved, ye have grieved Jerusalem that nourished you.
Yep. So you even grieve the land itself, you know, because there's a certain conduct that's required, all right, for the upkeep of that land. You see, in order for that land to be flowing with milk and honey, with resources, well, there's a certain conduct. That's why now it's like a desert over there because you have the wicked in that land, you know. But we even grieve the land itself because of our disobedience, man.
Which the wrath of the Most High coming upon you. She said, hearken, O ye that dwell about Zion, the Most High hath brought upon me great warning.
Yep. So that's the land, you know, even more, you know, for us being taken away and going back to the Lord. We provoke the Lord through idolatry, man. Now, what do our people do? They sacrifice because feminism is nothing but the queen of heaven repackaged. Okay? That's all feminism is. And you see all the wickedness that has sprung off, you know, the feminist movement, which removed the men, all right, which dismantled the patriarch, okay, and exalted the patriarch, okay, and from there it went downhill, okay. Now you have the Easter, Christmas, okay, and you just have, you know, just women, all right, being exalted and worship, okay. You have, you know, sex is worship in society, money is worship. All those go back to gods, you know. Bacchus, you know, go back to that party life, that nightlife. All that goes back to some type of deity. Everything that our people are into, the culture of our people can be rooted back to some idol. Okay, now they don't worship the actual statue, but they indulge in those cultures that come with those idols. Okay, so the same thing that provoked the Lord to anger, okay, and to put us in captivity, the same thing that niggas are gonna die, the same mindset that niggas are gonna die in, the nigga woman is gonna die in, man. You know, you got your bro. Get us Deuteronomy 30, 14.
It's Isaiah chapter 30, verse 12.
Yep.
Wherefore thus said the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise his word and trust in oppression
Yep.
and perverseness,
Yep.
and stay thereon. Therefore this iniquity.
Matter of fact, you gotta start at 8.
Okay.
You gotta start at 8, man. What?
Verse 8.
You gotta talk about these niggas, man.
Verse 8. Now go, write it before them in a table,
Yep.
and note it in a book,
Yep.
that it may be for the time to come forever and ever.
Yep. Go ahead.
That this is the rebellious people, lying children that would not hear the law of the Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
Yeah, so the Lord calls the prophets, you know, to keep a record of you niggas' behavior, man. You know, so it can be recognized in this time. So you can read the Bible and there's no doubt that's them. You can read the scriptures, these ancient accounts, and because now that you know who we are, that's why I know you brothers can attest the whole Bible read different. Now you can see niggas. When you read it, you can see niggas, but this them.
It feel like you there.
Yeah, you read the Bible, then you look up, that's that nigga. This is him.
It's vivid.
See? Yeah, so there's an ancient record that was kept just to identify you niggas in this time, man. This is the people that would not obey their power. This is them. Because Esau obeyed his blessing, the sword.
He tapped in.
Moab, they're into their Hinduism and whatever they in East Indian, they into that shit.
Oh, Esau tapped in like a
Yeah.
motherfucker. If we don't believe it, every year that nigga got a new jet.
Ishmael into his Allah. Shit, he'd die by that shit.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like these nations, they serve their gods. But Israel, shit.
Various people,
Shit.
very stiff-necked people.
You got it, bro.
We say to the seers, see not.
Yep.
To the prophet, prophesy to the right thing.
Yep.
Speak unto a smooth thing.
Yep.
prophesy deceit.
Yep. So our people would rather hear deception than to obey Yahweh by Shema Shai. That's why they love to listen to these lying ass rappers, these lying ass politicians, Esau, these lying ass pastors. Okay. They listen to these things because it doesn't require them to what? Change. They'll listen to anything that doesn't require them to change. Black Lives Matter. Okay, the ancestors. No, that's the big thing now. Nigga talking about the ancestors.
The
Okay.
ancestors.
Yeah, so niggas listen to anything that don't require any change. Okay, and that's that same rebellious, stiff neck mindset that put us in captivity. You got it, bro.
Get you out of the way, turn aside out of the path, cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us.
Yep.
Whereas this said the Holy One of Israel, because you despise his word, trust in oppression and perverseness, and stay thereon, therefore this iniquity shall be to you a breach, ready to fall, split out in a high wall, whose breaking comes suddenly and an instant.
Yeah, so because this society gonna collapse on these niggas in the instant, because these niggas they think that they're secure, all right, in this setup. You see, because they don't have a mind towards the kingdom to come. Their mind is here. It's trapped here. It's captive here. So since their minds are captive here, all right, they don't even understand that this shit finna collapse. And it's gonna collapse on niggas, man. It's gonna collapse in on them. Because you go into a wall that has a breach, that means that it has a defect. Okay? And every day that defect gets worse until the whole wall begins to just collapse in on the inhabitants, man. And this is what's going to happen with this system. The system is a wall that's been breached. Okay? And the Lord is constantly chipping away at this place. And our people are here with this mindset of continuation. And the place that the Lord is chipping away at is going to fall in on them, man. You got something else, bro? Yep. You can say something? Okay. You said Deuteronomy.
Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 14. Butter of kind.
And get that Isaiah. Start at 15. Get that Isaiah uh, 41 and 14, Bible show. You got it, bro.
Deuteronomy 32 and 14. Butter of kind and milk of sheep with fat of lambs and rams of the bread of Bashan and goats with the fat of kidney of wheats.
What verse is 15?
14.
14 is the other 15.
But Jeshurun waxed fat.
Yeah.
Deuteronomy chapter 32 verse 15.
Yep.
But Jeshurun waxed fat and kicked,
Yep.
and thou art waxing fat, thou art grown thick, thou art covered with the fatness. Then he forsook the Most High, which made him,
Yep.
and lightly esteemed the rock for their salvation.
Yeah, so when we was in our sovereignty, it said we were expect, we was well off. Okay? We had abundance. Okay? And within that abundance, what did Jake do? Jake got proud and lightly esteemed the rock that begot us, that brought us forth. Here it is, we was free from captivity. We was put up, okay, the Lord, conquered all our enemies. We was put up, okay, in a plush place. Okay? And what happened? We lightly esteemed the rock that set us up. And we became proud, became rebellious, we began to think too much of ourselves. Doesn't that sound familiar today? Okay? To where our people, everybody think they that nigga, that bitch. Can't be told nothing. All right? Well, we had that same behavior, all right, back then. And we began to start going to captivity, man. Okay? Go ahead, you're gonna keep going.
We read that in NLT, bro.
Yeah.
We read on NLT side. This is Deuteronomy 32, start at verse 15 again, NLT. But Israel soon became fat and unruly.
Unruly. We went into that word unruly. Can't be told shit. Not subjugated to any type of discipline and structure. Okay? Go ahead.
I'm trying to get down.
Yeah, it's gonna have the normal version. Go ahead.
It said the people grew heavy pomp and stuff. Then they abandoned the Most High who made them. They made light of the rock of their salvation.
Yep.
Verse 16. They stirred up his jealousy by worshiping foreign gods.
Yep.
They provoked his fury with detestable deeds.
Go ahead.
They offer sacrifice to demons which are not the Most High.
And what did Jake say? I'm on demon time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and
They take pride in this shit.
Esau do that. Like Esau make what the Challenger Hellcat. Then it's a Challenger called Demon, eh?
Mm-hmm. A demon and a red eye.
Yeah, so Esau does that because he know he make them poor built cars for Jake, them overpriced poor built cars
Mm-hmm.
for Jake. All right, and Jake don't understand that they're constantly being enchanted and then trapped in a way which they lose. Like nigga, you lose in this.
On both sides.
Yeah, you might got a closet full of goddamn Jordans, but look, go outside, nigga. You afraid to be around your own people. You can die any second over nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got some Jordans and you got a Hellcat. All right, and you got 3-4 baby mamas with their trash baby mamas. Okay, but see, to that's a nigga heaven. You see, a nigga is in heaven. That's why a nigga's not concerned about a kingdom to come because Esau has given these niggas their heaven and his hell. Okay, Esau has created these niggas a heaven and hell. So, Jake not concerned about shaking loose from this shit, man.
Convenience, slavery in the form of convenience.
Yeah, go ahead.
Come. It says, they offer sacrifice to demons which are not the Most High, to gods they had not known before, to new gods only recently arrived, to gods their ancestors had never feared.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, the Queen of Heaven. Okay, Bacchus, that party spirit. Okay, these are the guys of today that our people worship, man. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Come.
It says you neglected the rock who had fathered you. You forgot the Most High who had given you birth. The Lord Yahweh Shema Shah saw this and drew back, provoked to anger by his own sons and daughters.
Go ahead.
He said, I will abandon them, then see what becomes of them, for they are a twisted generation, children without integrity.
Children without integrity. Go ahead.
They have aroused my jealousy by worshiping things that are not the Most High. They have provoked my anger with their useless idols.
Mm-hmm.
Now I will rouse their jealousy through people who are not even a people.
Yep.
I will provoke them anger through the foolish Gentiles.
Yep, and that's talking about the Israelite foreigners, and that's happened during the time of Acts. You know, then also in this time as we've been, raised back up. So what we see is the Lord's anger was towards our people for worshiping other gods, man, useless gods. Okay. So now when you go here, the elect, all right. Matter of fact, get Isaiah 61 and read 1, and then we'll get Isaiah 51 and 14. So read Isaiah 61 and 1. What you got?
Bro, drop that Proverbs 30 and 11.
Yes.
There is a generation that cursed their father and do not bless their mother. There is a generation that are pure in their own eyes. Yes. Once you get that one.
He get that one.
You said Isaiah chapter 60, verse 1? 61.
61.
This is Isaiah chapter 61, verse 1.
Yep.
The Spirit of the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shah, is upon me, because the Lord hath anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek.
Yep, to good tidings unto the meek. See, this began with Yahweh Shah, and this is what he read in the book of Luke, the 4th chapter. Isaiah, he went and taught in the synagogue. They tried to grab him up, but this is what he was preaching. This is what he was teaching from Isaiah 61. Go ahead.
He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives.
To proclaim liberty to the captives. Okay? And it begins with our minds being liberated in righteousness. Okay? Go ahead.
And the opening of the prison to them that are bound.
Oh, because remember it said our people are snared in holes in prisons. But through Yahweh Shai, the teaching of Yahushua opens us up from them snares and prisons, all right, of these doctrines of Esau Edom, man, which keeps our people, okay, in captivity, makes them forever captives, man. Go ahead.
Done. To proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord
Yep.
in the day of vengeance of our power.
Yeah. So now we're thinking about vengeance. Okay, we don't want, all right, the sellout package that Esau gives our people, whether it's $1 million contract or a PlayStation and a Keisha, you know, because it's different. There's levels to everything. So you got our people that sell out like your Mayweathers and Jay-Z's, and then you just have the everyday nigga. Cause see, you sell out because you don't want vengeance. All right, you don't want vengeance to take on your enemy. You're cool with your situation, so you are sold out. You see, you don't have to sit on that couch to sell out. If you cool with just being a feminist woman in America, you got your little perks, you got your little niggas that do for you a few tricks, and you got your OnlyFans. If you're cool with that, and you don't want vengeance, okay, for what's been done to your people in righteousness, then you sold out. Okay. So now we proclaiming vengeance. We don't want the any sellout package that this nigga got. We want vengeance. That's what we're going to be satisfied with, man. When the Lord avenges his people, man, on the wicked. Go ahead.
To comfort all that mourn.
To comfort all that mourn. Go ahead.
To appoint unto them that mourn in Zion, to give unto them beauty for ashes.
Yep.
The oil of joy for mourning.
Yep.
The garments of praise for the spirit of heaviness.
Yep.
That they may be called trees of righteousness.
Yep.
And planted in the planting of Yahweh Shem Shad, that he might be glorified.
Yeah, so the Lord has begun to cultivate, all right, the hopeful elect, all right, into trees of righteousness, man. Because the scriptures say how a little one shall become 1,000, a small one a strong nation. Well, each brother is going to be, all right, the root to a family tree in the kingdom. Okay. So we're being cultivated in righteousness, but it starts with our minds being liberated from wickedness, man. Okay? From the mindset of a captive. No, we're liberated from that way of thinking, man. And that's why we yearn for a kingdom now, because we know that, hey, this is no matter how you get in this society, you're still gonna be a captive, man. Let's get that word captive, and then we're ending with that Isaiah 41 and 14. Yeah.
This is that word captive.
Yep.
Google first or the Edamon?
The last one you read was that the Edamon?
One who was taken.
Yeah, I think the second one you read the Edamon.
One who was taken. Captive in the Edamon, noun form, one who is taken or kept confined, one who is completely in the power of another.
One who is completely in the power of another. And the nigga doesn't mind being completely in the power of another as long as Esau get these niggas these little daily perks, man. And whether, like I say, whether that's a NBA finals, okay, or a goddamn little ratchet bitch, and a black and mild. Nigga cool with just being able to go get a black and mild every day, or some gin, bottle of gin, okay, and the hopes of smashing some little ratchet chick in the neighborhood. Like, a nigga would be content with that forever. You see? But he's fully under the power of another man. Okay? But see, when your mind is not liberated, you think you're in an okay position as a captive. Like, nah, nigga, we captives. Like, you don't feel no type of way that you gotta lie to a nigga to get off work. You know what I'm saying?
For real.
I got to lie to you to get off work. Not to be here today. I got to lie to you. You see? Nah, man. That's why we're gonna end it with you get that, and we end it, bro.
It's Isaiah chapter 41, verse 14.
Yep.
Fear not, thou worm Jacob, and ye men of Israel.
Yeah. Hold on. It might be. It's 51.
Oh no, that's 41.
Yeah, 51. Get 51. and 14. Oh, shit.
Is Isaiah chapter 51, verse 14. The captive exile hastening that he may be loosed.
The captive exile. We're kings in exile. Okay? And we haste to be loose to get back to our kingdom, man. What was the apostle saying? Without now restore the kingdom to Israel, and they was captives in Rome.
Mhm.
Okay, so now we in New Rome, America. Okay, and our mindset is when the kingdom gonna be restored. Okay, go ahead.
And that he should not die in the pit, nor that his bread shall fail.
Yeah, so we don't want to die in the pit, which is in this system. Okay, nah, man, we don't want to die. All right, as captives, man, we want to live forever as kings.
And what's that pit, bro?
Yeah.
Darkness.
Yeah, in this system, man, this is trap full of snares, and it keep you in this hole.
Dark,
Yeah,
gloomy.
yeah, it keep you in the hole, man.
Mhm.
So that was the point. Lord will you brothers, all right, and you sisters edified to the next time. We say Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom Yashala.
Mashallah.
Baba Ba soon. Shalom.
Shalom.